Hi. How are you all? Great, excellent. Oh, hi. You're very organised. You've already nominated a leader. Very impressive. Right at the front there. All communication goes through. What's your name? Megan. In Australia, you'd be called Megan. But Megan's much nicer. You from Canada? I said that to someone the other day. I said, "You from Canada?" And he said, "It's Canada." I said, "I don't get it." Cool. How old are you? 18. Fuck. Is this your boyfriend? Her dad. I asked if you were her boyfriend. Oh, they're mutually exclusive in this country, is that what you're saying? All right. Are you very proud of your daughter?
Oh, yes.
You'd rather she was a genetic engineer or a scientist or a researcher than a musician, for example? It's a tough call. Shoes you can have if you're a genetic engineer. Shoes. That's the main difference there. It's full on, because it's full on being a muso, because like when I was your age, I was into music and stuff, and I was poor as fuck. But everyone was poor, so I was okay. And then later on, when you're in a few years' time, people like you who have done proper degrees and have proper jobs you'll start buying stuff, like stuff that you get and you stick it in your fucking house that you bought, and a house full of stuff. But when I was in my late 20s, I still had no stuff, and you kind of get used to not having much money, but you get really jealous of your professional friends who have done more sensible things. But it's really weird because a lot of my professional friends, or people I don't know very well who are professional, tell me that they're jealous of my career, despite the fact that it's got several financial disadvantages, and they always cite, and I don't know if you'll hit 30 and start feeling jealous of people with no shoes, but they cite reasons for their envy, and they're always the same sort of ones. They always think it would be great to have the geographical freedom of the artist and the flexible work hours. Certainly had a few of them. And they seem to think that as some kind of artist, you have an increased capacity for spiritual growth. I don't even know what that means. I don't think I have a spirit, let alone a growth, and these envious professionals always have a fucking musical instrument tucked away. Did you play a musical instrument? You're a singer? A genetic engineer singer? How are you going to make that work? Well, maybe you give yourself a better voice, or your kids a better voice. You don't need a better voice. What sort of singer are you? Are you a good singer? Really? Oh, I'd love to hear you sing sometime.
How about now?
Yeah. This show is about me. Why would I get... So she might be really fucking good. And that would ruin everything. Jesus Christ. Do you think I'd do this job? I'd have a band if I wanted competition. I had this moment. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and go for a wee, and that moment of awakenedness, the bladder motivated awakenedness, is kind of only a couple of minutes long, but there's some of your best thoughts come there, and then you go to sleep and forget them. But sometimes you remember them. This is my thought process. I got up and went, need a wee. So I went to this, and then had a wee, and while I was sitting there, I thought, I'm going to die one day. Definitely going to die, and at some point I'm going to be looking back at my life and thinking, oh, it's fucking over, isn't it? This is true. I'm listening to a bit of my show. This is what happened this morning. And then I thought, I gotta get myself some really good last words, because you want to have good last words, right? I was sitting there waiting, I was half asleep, and the last words that came to me were, who's the world going to revolve around now? Put that back to bed. That just reminded me. These envious professionals always have a fucking musical instrument like that they've tucked away in their past that they haven't pursued, but with which they have a relationship of regret. You know, because they think that maybe if things had been different, just a butterfly wing flap different, they might have gone down the path of the virtuosic classical opera singer rather than the genetic engineer that they became, you know. And not that I'm saying you'll regret it, but you could well. And it happens all the time, right? And the conversation always goes a bit like this. G'day, you're Tim, aren't you? Yeah, you play the piano, don't you? Yeah. I used to play the piano. Did up to grade 7. I always regret giving it up, you know. I wish I'd stuck with it. You're so lucky. Thanks. What do you do? I'm a gynecologist. Gynecologist? Wow, yeah. I used to play Truth and Dare with my cousin. I once stuck a shoehorn up her front bum. I wish I'd stuck with it, you know. You're so lucky. Sorry, that's not actually true. I did stick with it. You look a bit like my cousin, actually. Quite nice. Fucking hell. It's all out of control. Hi. Hello. Hi, just good. Excellent. Everyone's still here? Everyone's still there? Excellent. Good. How's the review going? Right, read out the last sentence you wrote. A little bit loose. Losing his focus. Talking to the reviewer too much. Doesn't sing. Oh, he wanted you to sing, Megan. Oh, well, we can leave that. It might happen later in the show. What are you drinking?
No one bought me a beer.
You're only 18. You're allowed to drink at 18 in Canada? Yeah, fuck yeah. Hey. As long as you got your cousin with you. So one of the professions I have a little bit of a problem with is the stockbroker, right? I have a problem with stockbrokers. It's not a personal thing. I don't have a problem with the job you do if you're a stockbroker. I'm not even sure what it is, but I have a grammatical problem with your job because broke is the past tense of break, and so strictly the suffix er on the part, you can't strictly have a broke. You know, you just shits me, you know. I don't call myself a sanger. Neither does Megan. So this is a beat poem, right? It's a beat poem, which is basically a defunct art form that everyone stopped doing for a very good reason. It's a poem with a beat, and this beat poem is called Mitsubishi Colt. And I don't know if you guys get Mitsubishi Colts. I haven't cleared that up yet, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a shit fucking car. He looks at me intensely, eyes sparkle, contact lens green with artificial envy, cocks his head and fixes me with a condescending stare, flicks his bleached blonde tipped hair and theorises thus. You know what I reckon? Pause for effect. Adjusts his tackle as if it's semi-erect. I figure I better give him what I know he expects. What do you reckon? A hand on the shoulder, an avuncular wink, sips his lemon drink, spits out the pips, hands on hips, licks his lips like a wolf near a flock, yet again adjusting his fantasy cock. He delivers his philosophy. I reckon it don't matter. It don't mean squat what you earn or what you got, or the style of your hair or what you wear. It matters not. I mean, what do you care that I live on a hill with views of the beach, that my chicks and my dogs have an ensuite bathroom each, that I've already reached my first 10 million and I'm only 36? You're as thick as 2 bricks if you think you can fix what is broke in your life with money. And the funny thing is, and I shit you not, I would give it all up like that. He leaves me to ponder his wisdom for a bit, and with a click of his fingers he beckons the blondest, bimboest barmaid, and grinning ridiculously orders a G&T and a beer for me. And before I can escape, he's back saying, "'Cause mate, the thing is, all that crap, it's all superficial. It's all just a front. I mean, anyone can be a rich cunt, but the thing we all want can't be bought with dosh. You know what I mean, boss? Because it's not like you give a toss that when I want to get slim, I've got my own private gym and a personal trainer called fucking Megan or Darlene. She's got tits like those chicks in Penthouse magazine. And it's not like you care that I own a controlling share of an overseas company that builds accounting software. It matters not one bit. I mean, who gives a shit that I earn 600 grand and drive a brand new Land Rover? You know, I'd hand it all over like that. He pauses for a beat, long enough for me to retreat to a seat and sit elbow on bar and contemplate this guru with his white teeth and big car, and ponder silently my belief that genius comes in many forms, and that this postulating, peroxided porn star prick ain't one of them. My speculation cuts short as he reforms like Terminator 2, and before I have time to abort, he descends upon me and snorts. I guess what I'm trying to say in my own little way is that I reckon musos and artists and that, well, I reckon they're great. I know some people who reckon you guys just sit on your bums and don't get out of bed till the pizza man comes and smoke cones and take crack and whack off all day, but I don't care what they say, and I don't listen to people who say all actors are gay. Not that I don't think that's okay. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, although it's not my bag, if you want to be a fag, you know? I mean, who am I to say where you come and where you go in the privacy of your own homo? Homo. He's shitting me now, and my eyes start to glaze, and through the haze of my anger, I notice his G&T is gone, and he starts to dribble as he dribbles on and fucking on. But you musos are alright. I don't know much about music, but I know what I like, and I reckon I'd give it all in to be like you, Jim, because you might be poor in monetary terms, but what you earn spiritually, what makes you what you are, just means so much more than what you'll get from a really nice car, or a tennis court, or holidays in Greece, or a house on the beach, or stock market shares, or 31 pairs of Calvin Klein underwear. Do you understand? Jim, you are a wealthy man. And mate, I don't want to piss in your pocket, but I gotta say, before I get on my way, that honestly, and I'm not having you on, I reckon one day you could play piano as good as Elton John. Are still mingling, though the crowd shuffled out. I've got ice on my hand where my fist met his mouth. And although I explained that it wasn't my fault, I have an $800 fine for aggravated assault. So before it gets worse, I reckon I'll bolt. A wealthy man in a 1981 Mitsubishi Colt.